I finished another book. I actually finished 2, so you might get 2 videos today. It's another Agatha Christie. This is a murder mystery for people who don't know what Agatha Christie writes. This is murder, the murder at the Vicarage. It's a Miss Marple. It does not say at the top. Usually they have a little red thing that says Miss Marple at the top. I guess this one doesn't. This is the first, I think, Miss Marple one, because this is where we're introduced to her as a character, and then she's the next big mystery solver for the next couple books Agatha Christie writes. So let me tell you a little bit about it first before I give you my opinions. It's kind of about, the story is narrated by the vicar at the vicarage, Reverend Clement, and what happens is there's a murder that takes place at the vicarage, hence the title. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there. And obviously he's the main suspect because he's the vicar. That's where he hangs out. That's his spot. But he's the narrator, so he might not have done it. And it's a very small town that they're in. Hold on. They're in St. Mary Mead. I had to Google that because I forgot. Which is a little village in England. And because it's such a small town and nothing ever happens, every single person in the village is super invested in the solving of this murder. And this one is quite a nice copy because you get all these diagrams. So while the villagers are trying to solve the murder, because the police aren't doing the greatest job at it, so everyone else kind of gets involved, especially Miss Marple, who lives next door to the vicar. Everyone's kind of really nosy, really poking around, and it seems like everyone has a little bit of a detail about what actually happened on that day, and then that kind of all comes together to help Miss Marple solve the mystery. It's quite cute. It's nice. It took me a while to read just because, I don't know, it took me a while to get into it. I feel like with the Hercule Poirot ones, it's a lot more fast. Like, the murder happens and then, like, I don't know, it's just nonstop action, whereas this one, it's quite passive. Like, you're going over for tea, and then we're having a couple pages where we're just talking about everyone's families, and, like, it's nice, but it's not as quick. It's not as a page turner as Agatha Christie's other works. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it does really set up Miss Marple, so if you're gonna read the rest of the Miss Marple ones, this is it kind of gives you that she's this old, spinster, she's got nothing else to do, she's nosy, she's in everyone's business, and she's really good at reading people. So this kind of sets her up well for that. I've read quite a few Agatha Christie's. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite, but I would say like everyone's got like the same top 5. If you've read all the Agatha Christie's, like there are some that are just like much better than the rest. In my opinion, I think I've said this in previous videos, so I'm going to say it again. My favorite is And Then There Were None. And then, I like the murder of Roger Ackroyd. And then the basic, like The Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, those ones are kind of classic. And those are all Hercule Poirot. So this is kind of my first jump into Miss Marple. Seriously, I guess I read The Murder of Seven Dials, which is also Miss Marple. But this is like, I'm getting into her properly because I'm starting from the get-go. So I kind of jumped in randomly because I was staying in Seven Dials for a bit, and I wanted to read The Murder of Seven Dials while I was there because I could look around. But now I'm kind of starting at Miss Marple's first one, so I can kind of understand her character a little bit better. That's just what I'm up to. That's my review. I would say, like, it's solid. Like, I think you kind of have to read, you don't have to, but I think you should read this one just so you understand the rest of them, because they do all sort of compile on each other at some point. So yeah, it's good. There are other things. I don't know. That's my opinions. I didn't dislike it. It did take me forever to read because I've been busy with other things. So it's something you can easily pick up and put back down. This is such a pretty copy. I usually have like really beat up copies of Agatha Christie's. I don't know, it's quite a nice color. There's my book review. I also went to book club, and it's the end of the year book club meeting, so we got to like pick a random book that, like, you bring a book, you drop one off, and you pick a random one, and they're all wrapped up so you don't know what you got. And so this is what I picked up. It's another murder mystery, which is not something it's something I read. I've not heard of this author, Helen Fields. I'm not really sure. So if you like this book, let me know and I'll read it. Let me know if anyone's got some good opinions on the author or the book. It says 1 million copy best-selling author, so she must have done something right. But this one, I don't know. It seems more modern day, which I kind of like these ones because they're old. I also live in England, which is why I also like these, because I can go to the places these were, or I can figure out where they are. I know some of the things that they're talking about or the trains that they're on. I don't know about this one. We'll see. That's my review. This is such a weird angle. My phone's plugged in, that's why. All right, see you guys later. This hair is annoying me.